We're now recording to the cloud.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the Instant Recall Zoom meeting today. My name is Paul Schneider, and what we're going to cover is a little bit about the launch of Instant Recall. A lot of people have been patiently waiting, and a bunch of you are on this call right now, and we're recording this for those that couldn't make it with a Q&A as well at the end. But Instant Recall is a brand new app that has been approved in both the Android store and the Apple store. We actually tested it in the store just briefly this morning to make sure everything was okay, but the permanent address of the app is established by Apple. Android lets us do whatever we want. So Apple has us in the queue, which is like a cafeteria line where an address is permanently assigned to an app and stuck in the store. So that's what we're waiting on now. It's been through all the heavy lifting of the code reviews and all that kind of stuff for approval. So that is now complete. And so the timing of this call really couldn't be better. Within the app itself, and we're going to go into this in the Q&A, but within the app itself, there are 3 different ways to recruit people to sign up for the app. So that makes it really easy. One, you have a little mini back office in the app where you can just click a button and send a code to someone. If you don't want to, you have a code assigned to each user, so you can use that. You got a full link, so it takes them into the app store. And then the other way, I can't remember, my guys were showing me all 3 ways this morning that you can do it, because before there was only one way. So we made it so no matter how you're using it, you can just instantly recruit in the app using all the lists in your phone, like your list of all your email clients that you deal with, where you have friends, family, and all the business contacts you have, as well as your phone book in the phone, all your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp. It's connected to every list you've got in your phone just automatically once it's installed. So I thought I'd bring that to your attention. But the big news this week that I wanted to announce yesterday, and I couldn't get it out because there was so much noise, is the fact that it was approved by Apple and Android both, and now we're in the queue. Just think of a big cafeteria line, and every day I ask Apple, and I deal with a couple of techs there, when's it going to be stuck in? And they say, with COVID, Paul, you got to take it easy on us. We still have to work remotely as per corporate orders and all that in Northern California, Palo Alto. So that's all we're waiting on, but they'll get it in pretty quickly now, since they let us do a live test with it this morning in the store just to make sure everything was working properly in the store. So the way the app makes money is by selling anonymous location data, okay? And there's a lot of people that don't know what that means. It just means that once the app is installed on a phone, we don't know whose phone it is. We just know that phone is traveling from point A to point B, and that data is very valuable to a lot of companies, a lot of Fortune 100 companies. One of the companies we have a contract with is Foursquare, okay, foursquare.com. You can see Panera Bread and Spotify and Twitter and Subway sandwiches. They're all going to be customers. It says trusted by 1,000 agencies and brands and over 550 publishers and partners. So there's all these major brands. Everyone's familiar with Panera and Spotify probably, and Twitter and Subway sandwiches, obviously. So these companies buy that data to make assessments on maybe where to put a new store, or traffic flows at a particular time of day in a particular community to determine what their staff would be like at that time of day if they have a bunch of people running in to order a sandwich. So tons of reasons, a lot of real estate developers, a lot of infrastructure projects for highways and bridges to be decided, which are multi-billion-dollar projects, where to put a bridge, where to put a new highway, based on, once again, the traffic patterns that you can see from this data. It's the real thing. It's the data right on the ground in real time. It could be Walmart stores just determining where to put another store or what stores to expand. Here's another partner. This is narrative.io. They're in New York City. So is Foursquare, by the way. Once again, they provide us lots of customers to use this location data. And I'll read what it says here. It says location data gives you the precise longitude and latitude at points of interest as observed via GPS and beacons. Okay, so it's a way, once again, to pinpoint where people are going, where they're spending time. They might go in a store to buy something. You can see all this in real time. So it lets advertising. We got somebody there. Okay, sorry. Hold on. Somebody's got reverb. Okay, I'm back on. Someone had some reverb going on there, and I apologize for that. I don't know what it was. So the data, this is the value of the data. We have a dozen different companies like this. These are two very large ones. I think Foursquare is the biggest in the country, but we have ones that are not only domestic, but companies like this in India and in the UK, okay, already signed on board. And I didn't want to go into all their stuff because they're brand new. I barely know the people there yet. We've had a few conversations, but I've had a bunch with these guys. So the next step will be making an announcement to go through the registration. I think one of the best things about having the business in the form of an app is that we can communicate directly with people. Like as soon as the app has been downloaded by any of you, I can do a push notification and it goes out to everybody. And it might say, hey, this is how some people won't know how to use the recruiting buttons, for instance. And just with a simple push notification, it'll do step 1, step 2, step 3. And it could be on a little short video with me holding my own handset. So it's really handy to have that versus the old-fashioned way of sending out an email, hoping people read it. This is going to come in as a push notification, be right on your phone. So maybe it's an update on something we're doing or a meeting. It just is so convenient compared to the old way of doing it. And to have everything inside of the app for people to literally pull up all their contacts instantly and begin registering new people. That's really, really handy. So what we're going to do now, and I guess Tony's got, or somebody's got the controls, is unmute everyone so you all can ask questions. Can we do that now? Hello, Tony? Anybody?
They can unmute themselves when they have
Okay.
a question one at a
Okay.
time instead of everybody to stop the
Okay.
background noise, if that's okay.
That's fine. Anyone got a question today? Gosh, I must have done a wonderful job. If you do have a question, you have to unmute yourself in the lower left-hand side of your screen is a little microphone. Hello? Hello. Sherman, do you have a question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. My question is, when someone registers with me, and is it fair that I could tell them that their actual information will never be shared? It's just where they're going and where they've been?
100% fair. And you should tell them Apple would not have approved this if we did share their information. They do not allow it. It's against federal law. So we would be fined. Apple would be fined. So we do not share their information. It's totally anonymous. So we don't even know what kind of phone it is. So there's just a pin dot of a phone going down a highway on Saturday afternoon. So that we don't know who's going down the highway. Could be anyone with this app on their phone. So there's no tracking of people. And that is a big no-no. All the major carriers got fined for doing that. We're talking AT&T and Sprint. They all got, like $200 million fines because they were doing it until the Federal Communications Commission just put an end to it, said no more. And then they didn't pay attention to that order. So they all got to pay some really large fines.
So Paul, even though their information that I will need to insert them into my end of the company is in the app itself, it will never be and could not be compromised.
That's correct. Here's why. the database tables that reside on your phone cannot be shared with anybody. They're locked up. There's no way to share them. But that database is mission critical for you to go recruit people from your databases that reside on your phone.
I understand.
We got a reverb there, Tony. Yeah, he's got background noise.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it.
Okay.
And when are you going to show us the pay scale system?
As soon as we let you download it, you can see all this. We're going to do it in real time. We'll do another call, and you know, I'm going to want to instruct you on the whole process of recruiting and everything. So I'll show you all that. It's kind of, I think it frustrates people to not have access to both the apps, and then they keep getting told all this stuff. So we're trying to just make it so you're 100% whole with regard to the processes you might want to follow or who you're going to reach out to. But we're going to give a live demo of that, so you'll see it, and I think it'll make it a whole lot easier to understand. You know, showing you a bunch of pictures on my screen is fine, but that's really, you know, it's kind of, it's nice, but it doesn't solve the issue, which is how do I just go do this right now?
Thank you, Paul.
Okay.
Well, Paul,
Yes, sir.
this is Will in Midlothian, Virginia. How are you?
Fine.
What questions can we ask now? I mean, like, I understand the pay scale thing and going through the money part. Number one, the main thing is feeding America and feeding the families. My question, hopefully it pertains to something you can answer now, is if, because this has happened in the past with other, you know, business opportunities, that my best friend Clifford wanted to support me, and he puts the app on his phone, and then it's like he changes his mind and says, no, well, I want my other buddy to get credit for this, not you. And it's like, once they put the app on their phone, is that instant, and it's only has to be on there for a second or a day in order for me to get credit for that family or for that?
I can answer that. So as soon as they register, the first thing they do is download the app. The next thing that appears is your registration. And as soon as they register, and it's got a code number that's assigned to you, they're locked in the database. Okay. So that's stored in the cloud. It's not stored on their phone. So they register, even if they deleted the app and then reinstalled it and thought they were going to fool the system, it doesn't fool. They're not fooling anybody. So if they decide I don't want to be with William, I want to be with Tony, they already registered. So
one and done then, pretty much, for that.
yes.
Pretty much. Okay. Yeah, because that was my main thing was, so I mean, so when I guess the steps is we're going to send them the link, and then that's when they take the link and they go to register. Then is that how that works?
Yep. They go to yeah. They
Because
get the link and they
Okay.
click on it, and it's directly to the address of the app in the store. So it begins downloading it. And then once it's downloaded, there's a little icon that appears on their phone, and you know, they click on it, and the very first thing it says is register. And you know, it'll show them the app itself. Some of the built-in features are to show you the location you're at versus the rest of the world. And you know, it has a lot of nice features for remembering things that you might be doing. That's the purpose of the app. So it's a location app. The purpose of the app is a location-based app.
I got you. So, and in order to, does it have to go 30 days before that same family or a different family? If they're leaving the app on their phone, does it have to run like a cycle of 30 days in order to qualify? Let's say if they did it now, then I get credit for one family in October, and it's just one person. How soon do you get November? Does it have to be 30 days or what's, I know I'm being anal here, you know, but
it's running automatically in the background. So
Okay.
unless they totally remove it and they're no longer even on the app. Okay.
okay.
So as long as they leave it, they might not open the app, but it's still running in the background.
Okay.
So it's doing that. So the only way they're they're off the app is to totally delete it from their phone.
Okay. I got
It still remembers who registered those. So if they download it again and try to re-register and with a new sponsor, that's not going to work for them.
Okay, I got you. If I have any, how much longer are we gonna be on this call? Because I may have another question or two, but I want to be respectful to everybody else that's on the call that they get, but that was my main one. So
Okay.
I do have a few questions and I'm just anal that way, but I'll leave it open for anybody else.
Okay. Any other questions out there?
So is there any tracking going on right now as far as signing people up, or you're keeping this information yourself?
So the tracking all starts with, as far as you mean a genealogical structure?
Correct.
So Larry Lalaman Deer is the first one in the database, and he's on the call with us. And he's here in St. Louis with where I live. And so I see Larry and talk to him all the time. But bottom line is Larry will, whatever data is in the databases right now, just the test data, we're going to clear out. Okay. When Apple gives us a word, we clear out that data, and Larry's already in the system. He'll just begin sharing the data with, he'll begin sharing the data with those people that he's reached out to in the order that he wishes to do so, and you all will in turn do the same thing. So that's the start of the whole deal. Okay. And he knows that. We've had that conversation many times. So that's a progression. Now, hopefully you do this in an orderly fashion. There are some things we cannot control. Like if you called somebody and someone else called them, and you got to deal with those situations because we don't know who called who. All we know is the beginning is correct, which is with Larry. And he's already got his whole list of people. But after that, it's try to do it orderly so you don't hurt anyone's feelings.
So would you say at this juncture that you just have to keep track of your own people until the app actually becomes available?
Yes, 100%. That's what Larry has done, and that's what Larry's key leaders have done. So we highly recommend that, because you know how someone will hear about it and they'll tell somebody, and then they'll call the same person you were going to call, and you have to be cautious there to make sure that there's not.
Oh, it'll get messy quick.
Yeah, it could. So, but this is informal communication you've had with other people, which we don't know existed. You had a phone call with them or some emails or text messages, and they say, yeah, I'm in. And then you go to reach out to them again. They say, oh, I already signed up with someone else. It's like, so I think it'd be good for you to touch base with all your key people saying, hey, this is the way this is going to go down. I'd highly recommend it. So you don't, once it gets flowing in the normal course of business, it's fine. But at the beginning, we don't want people mad at each other, because we really don't know about what communications you've had.
Hi, Tony. My name is Rand. A friend of mine gave me the link to be in on the call.
Okay.
I really don't know anything about it. I don't even know what the product is. Can you just briefly give me a summary? I know it might be repetitive to some people, but I'm really not sure what it is.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
I see. No, I just see pictures of people.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. Hold on. Let me just. Okay.
Are you Tony Baldwin?
No, I'm Paul Schneider.
Oh, okay. I called you Tony. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Do you see my screen now?
Yes. we do.
Okay. Okay. So
I don't see it. I'm on an iPhone, so I don't know. I
oh,
just see pictures of people in the FaceTime.
Swipe to the left, swipe.
I am swiping. Oh, there's Paul. Okay. Yeah, now I see.
okay. Now I see your somebody swipe marks on here. Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. So Instant Recall is a brand new app that's been approved by Apple and Android. And it's a way for independent business owners to make money from the sale of anonymous location data. So when we give the green light, you're going to go into the Play Store and download the app. I don't know what Larry's calling about. Just a second. Hello? Hello? Well, I guess he didn't know he was calling me. So you're going to go into the Play Store, or you're going to get a link from somebody that told you about it, and you're going to go ahead and register. And then we'll go into the full discussion. All we've been talking about is where the location data is sold, where you're going to get the app. And the main reason for the call today was to tell everyone that both Apple and Android have approved the app. What Apple does is put you in a queue, like a cafeteria line, and they give you a permanent address. The Apple staff is working remotely because of the COVID virus. They didn't want large groups of people in one location in Palo Alto at their headquarters where they do this. They didn't want them all stuck in one big room, which they normally are, passing around germs. So that's, that's their order. They're starting to let people come back right now, but it just slowed down the admission process. Otherwise, it'd already be done. And so we wanted to alert everyone as to the fact that yesterday, Apple totally approved us. Okay, so that's the good news. And now we're in line, and we want people that are sharing and recruiting with the app to follow, the lines of sponsorship that they have been told that, someone reached out to them, and wherever you're doing, just be cautious not to do something bad to somebody by accident, which would be take away their contacts or whatever.
Okay, Paul.
Yeah.
I will be sending this out so anybody that got on late will hear all of what you did initially as well as now. And if you're ready to end this, we'll end it and we'll get the recording going. So
okay, good deal.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for your generous time. We appreciate it. And with that, if it's with your permission, we'll say goodbye till the next time.
Right. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.
So much.
You too. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.